Is the Equinox RS worth almost $40,000? We'll find out in today's video. I'll include a link to the Chevy here in Provo's website in the description down below. If you have any questions, just ask for Easton. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood of the Equinox is a turbo 1.5 liter 4-cylinder. Goes through an 8-speed. Fuel economy is 25 around town, 29 on the highway, with power outputs being 175 horsepower and then 203 pound-feet of torque. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Now, I picked out this particular RS because this bright red I think looks pretty sharp in the package. Below we have a split light design. The actual headlight cluster is right there, and then the grille's blacked out with the RS logo. Altogether, the contrast with the black and the red on this I think work perfectly. Tire and wheel setup is 235 by 55 by 19. You've got silver on the outside, black in the center, and then street tires, of course, on the RS. Chunky fender flares because they're just trying to make the new Equinox look a little bit more rugged. Blacked out Equinox badge too. Being blacked out, the mirror caps are blacked out, but the roof, surprisingly not. When it comes to key fob features, we've got the Chevy bow tie here on the back. We have our lock and unlock function on the front remote start, and then the opening for the hatch. Now, one thing that's really nice about the Equinox is the cargo space. This is similar in size to a Toyota RAV4, and so you've got a ton of space behind the second row. You can also throw the second row down if you want more. And this is fully powered, by the way, so just press that button and that will lower the hatch back down. I like the kind of teardrop style with the taillights here. I think that's another cool look. And then everything's blacked out here on the back. That will cap things off for the exterior, and as you can see, a bit more premium. Let's now check out the interior. Kind of an interesting design here with the trim. It is soft touch. Let me give you guys a really close look, awkwardly close. See that? Cool looking. Speaking of cool looking, look at these seats. Chevy's going hard with stylizing things. The legroom back here is good. We also have a little storage pocket. We've got heated seats in the rear. We also have vents for the rear passengers. Plenty of headroom here in the back because of that boxy design on the outside. Keyless entry for up front, and let's pop in. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. We also have our memory seat functionality. Driver window is automatic, and then you've got more of that soft touch trim here with the front door panel. RS logo on the headrest, and then more of that red trim. The driver's seat is power adjustable with lumbar support. The passenger seat's also power adjustable with lumbar support. Now, off to the left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our shortcut to turn off the auto stop start. You've got your auto hold, and then your all-wheel drive mode. And start her up. Soft touch trim all around the steering wheel, another blacked out Chevy bow tie in the center. We've got controls for the heated steering wheel, voice command controls for the center stack too, all on the right hand side. On the left hand side, you've got your cruise control. Paddle shifters and radio controls are on the back of the steering wheel, and then this does come equipped with a column shifter. Full digital gauge cluster lets you know if you're in two-wheel drive or all-wheel drive because you can toggle between the two. But you can also toggle between different kind of screen modes with this, and you guys will see the real world glare here is not all that great, something that Chevy could definitely work on. Speaking of real world glare, you can see my funny pineapple shirt. But yeah, backup camera, pretty good resolution. Now, I promise this is not an advertisement to get pineapple, but instead a display of this screen. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's quick to respond, but again, during certain times of the day, you got quite a bit of glare. We've got our dual zone climate controls down below with heated and ventilated seats. And then below that, you can see our little charging area, some USB ports. This does come equipped with a wireless phone charging pad. This is just your drive mode select dial. Cup holders right next to that. Got a center console. More nice trim on top of the center console. And speaking of nice trim, I do like the dash design. I think it's cool looking. 2026 Equinox RS all-wheel drive, $38,165. Let's see how the Equinox performs. Equinox RS, which stands for probably Rally Sport, but since this doesn't have a V8 Chevy, we're going to call this the Equinox really slow. I'm just kidding, it's actually not. I mean, you guys will see it's not that slow, but I always find it funny when manufacturers do like a quote-unquote sporty package, but it doesn't actually have any more performance. Now, a big part of that is just because of the emission standards of the day, but things are a little bit more lax. So Chevy, let's do a V6 Equinox, come on, with like 300 horsepower. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Now, this is a nice car. The suspension is comfortable. It's also, man, maybe I should turn the other, well, I guess I'll just wait. The suspension's comfortable. The cabin's pretty darn quiet. It's got decent insulation. And the low-end torque is surprisingly good. Now, in the two-wheel drive mode, it does torque steer a little bit, kind of pulls a little bit on the steering wheel and all that. If you want to get rid of that, just pop it in all-wheel drive mode. The downside rather of doing that is that the all-wheel drive mode is going to get worse fuel economy. And that's the thing that I've loved about this car compared to a lot of other cars in the segment, is the fact that Chevy lets you choose between all-wheel drive and front-wheel drive. Because most cars, it's like one or the other. Whereas this, since you have a button that decouples the rear end, or couples it, see what I did there? Anyways, it means that you've got more control over that, and that you can get the front-wheel drive fuel economy while having the all-wheel drive grip when you need it. And the turn-in's really good. I mean, this car handles well, the suspension's comfortable, the seats are pretty comfortable. Like, all things considered, it's a nice car, and the RS package adds a little bit of fun, I think, that is lacking from like an LT, because you can get an LT with similar features, obviously, but it doesn't have the same fun factor. And then, you know, I've reviewed the active package. I think the active package is really cool, but my problem with the active package is the off-road tires. You're gonna get worse fuel economy with that. I've tested one out for a week. You do get worse fuel economy. It's not that bad, but you do get worse. The tires are a little bit noisier, and then the overall, you know, ride quality is just not as good as this. Again, street tires are always gonna be better on the street than off-road tires. So this gives you kind of like a similar vibe to the active in terms of the cool looks and everything, but it does so with street tires rather than with off-road tires, so it's a little bit more user-friendly from that perspective. And the active doesn't really have anything, like, other than the off-road tires, it doesn't really do anything to the all-wheel drive system, so like, you're not getting any extra off-road capability with that package. Yeah, this is, and I think this is a nice size where it's big enough to have good space, but not too big to where it's hard to maneuver. This is pretty easy to drive around. It's a nice car. I do think Chevy is doing a really good job with their interiors in terms of the spacing inside, and that's where I think they're getting a lot of buyers from other manufacturers. I mean, you look at this, you look at the new Traverse, for example, super spacious in their segments, and so it does feel like you're getting kind of more car. And in this segment especially, like, space is always important, but this segment I think is really important because some cars, if they feel too small, it just feels unusable at that point. It's like, I can't really use this for anything other than A to B type deal. But this, you could genuinely, and my wife and I put car seats in the back ones, you could use these as a family car, no problem. So like I said, the utility is very strong with the Equinox. Let me know what you guys think about the RS version of the Equinox, but I think this looks good, it drives well, it's got solid features. Chevy's packaging has actually been pretty good recently. I've been pretty impressed. The thing that I'm not really impressed with is the powertrains. I mean, the performance is fine, but I think they could do a little bit more to make their powertrains obviously more reliable. Come on, Chevy. But they could do things to make it less peaky feeling. I mean, this feels pretty peaky. Let me know your thoughts.